if you care about productivity, then this is something you really need to hear. Okay? And it is that you do not need anything dictating how you operate. Now, let me just expand, right? Three things came to mind when I thought of this: bad food, weed, alcohol. Maybe even drugs as well, you could put in there. Bad food. If you eat bad food, let's just say then in the nighttime, like you have a bit of chocolate cake in the evening, for example, or a chocolate bar or something, that sugar will create inflammation in your body overnight. Your organs will like be working while you should be sleeping and rest, using that time to recover. When you wake up, you'll have inflammation in your body. Your cheeks will feel puffy. Like you will feel it. If you over time you start to feel it, and when you wake up, you'll feel groggy and you will not feel like working out. You will instead feel like craving more food, like sweet food. So you'll instead go for cereal rather than like eggs and or like a bit of fruit, for example. You go for something more like artificially sweet, like jam, all these different types of things that are sweet for breakfast in the morning, right? You probably be craving, like if you're intermittent fasting, and you should be breaking your fast by like midday, for example. You'll in the morning you'll start craving food, and that food, what will start to do to you, to your productivity, if you have that sugary food, you have that stuff, you'll have a crash very soon after it. It will last for like 20 minutes, it will feel great, but then afterwards you'll feel like slumped again, and then you will like your productivity for the day will suffer. You won't be as like clear mentally. You'll have that brain fog that it takes a while to get over, right? You've probably experienced this 1,000 times in your life, but yeah, sometimes it just takes someone like me telling you that this is actually a real thing. Same thing with weed. You smoke weed like a zoo each night, for example, like I used to when I was at uni and a little bit after uni too. I would wake up with like a weed hangover, and everyone experiences this who smokes weed. It's not like no one experienced, like only a select few. Literally, if you smoke weed the next day, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've even done it once, the next day you feel just like a little bit off. Not off like in a sense of like you can't do anything, but it's just like you're not 100% there. You're not like 100% focused, like laser focused. Like you don't feel like you can go for like a mad run right now. You just feel like I want to take it a little bit easy today. I just want to take it like a little bit chill. Let me just like relax a bit. This is the type of stuff that will affect you when it comes to like productivity. You just won't want to do stuff. You won't want to like do anything when it comes to your business, with your fitness, etc., right? Alcohol, everyone knows that as well. So you go out drinking for a night, for example, the next day, especially like when you're young, you can kind of bounce back, but like it's still bad. Like if you didn't drink, you would feel way better the next day. But when you get to like 25, maybe like 28 plus, them drinks start to hit you hard the next day. You cannot, like it takes you about a whole day to recover. Especially if you go hard with drinking, it takes you an entire day to recover. Sometimes two, depending on how like mash up you get, right? But alcohol, another factor that can really seriously affect your productivity. So these things, it's like when I go back to this original thing that I said, that you do not need anything else dictating how you operate. Think about that, okay? Because if you're ingesting these different things and it's changing how you operate, you're giving these things way too much power. These external things, they're controlling your life. These are your vices, these are your addictions. Maybe if it's not that deep, on that deep level, like addiction, it is a habit that is affecting you negatively, and then the next day you won't be as sharp, you won't get as better results in the gym, in your finances, with your relationship, with your family, etc. All these things will suffer because you're stopping yourself from being like optimal. Now, if you had instead fruit for dinner, or like something light in the evening, it would be digested really, really quick. Or like eggs and fruit, for example, is what I'm having recently. That gets digested really quickly, and then by the time, so let's just say it takes 4 hours to digest. This is just like off the top of my head. I think like normal digestion is like 8 hours, like a decent heavy meal. Let's just say a lighter meal takes 4 hours. It can pass through your system quicker. Now you're giving your body much more time to recover while you're actually sleeping, rather than digesting food, spending all that excess energy wasting food rather than recovering your body. Now you're going to feel way better when you wake up, because there's nothing like you've had 8 hours constant of recovery time, especially if you like go to sleep at like 10 and then like your last meal was at 6 p.m, so that 4 hour gap, so that like by the time you go to sleep there's nothing left to digest almost. You're just like bang in sleep mode, right? Imagine how productive you're going to be the next day. You're going to be like top of your game, because you're not lagging from all this stuff that you're putting in your body that is like slowing you down. You're letting these things, you're not letting these things dictate like how you live your life now. Same thing with, like, as I mentioned, drugs as well. I said weed already, but like, I mean, and any other type of drugs, like whether that's even prescription stuff to other harder drugs like illegal stuff. If you do all this stuff, it's only going to negatively affect you. You have to understand this. This is like the basic building blocks. Get enough water, get enough sleep, get enough like good nutrition from natural sources. If you read the back of the package and it says like one ingredient: celery, broccoli, chicken breast, rice. Like, these things will, if they have one ingredient, or if they don't even say the ingredients because it's literally just a pack of broccoli, you're good. If it has two or more ingredients, it's typically like processed food. So like peanut butter, for example, it has like whatever palm oil or whatever it has in it, like all the crap stuff. You could just make your own peanut butter. All you need is peanuts and a pestle and mortar, or like a grinder, and it would literally just like grind that up for like 2 minutes. It will turn into peanut butter. Try that shit. If you have like junk food like crisps, the amount of oils, the amount of like different ingredients put into that, the like emulsifiers, like all the different chemicals put into this food, it's only going to make you lag. So stick to foods with like one ingredient only, the actual food itself. Learn how to cook, drink a lot of water, get a lot of sleep, rest, exercise. These are pretty much everything you need. like these 4 things: water, exercise, sleep, and nutrition. These are the things you need to do, like anything in life. Everything else is like unnecessary. It just slow you down. So bear that in mind. You don't need anything dictating how you operate.